Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news alright, Bears fans, buckle up because there's some intriguing, potentially game-changing news coming out of the NFL, and specifically from the NFC North, that could have a lasting impact on our beloved Chicago Bears. As many of you know, the start of the 2025 season hasn't exactly been what we hoped for. Coming into the year, expectations were sky-high. The offseason was filled with optimism, with new signings, draft picks, and a belief that this team was ready to take the next step towards playoff contention, maybe even a deep run in the postseason. But the first game, well, it left many of us with more questions than answers. The Bears opened their campaign on Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings, a game that was supposed to be a showcase for the team's potential. And initially, it looked promising. The offense started on fire, with Caleb Williams showing flashes of his incredible talent, making some impressive throws and trying to command the game with his arm. But as the game progressed, things started to slow down dramatically. The Vikings' defense adjusted, and the Bears' offense just couldn't keep up the pace. One of the biggest issues was Caleb Williams himself. Despite his undeniable talent and athleticism, he struggled with consistency. There were moments of brilliance, but they were overshadowed by missed throws and some decisions that looked a bit off. It's something that many young quarterbacks face, but for a team that's counting on him to be the franchise guy, it's concerning. But it's not just Williams, there's a critical problem in the backfield. The running game simply wasn't there. Kendre Swift, who last year was considered a dynamic playmaker, looked quite inefficient in this first outing. Sure, he had a few big catches, explosive gains that made us all sit up and think, wow, this guy can be special. But most of his carries, the majority of them, were just 2 or 3 yards. Not exactly what we need from a lead back, especially when the game is on the line. And that brings us to a pressing issue that the Bears management and coaching staff have to face before Week 2. The running back position is critical, and right now, it's a position of concern. The team needs an upgrade, a boost to this unit that's been somewhat stagnant, and that's why the idea of making a move on the trade market is gaining traction. Specifically, there's a lot of buzz around Kendre, the running back from the New Orleans Saints, who could fit into this puzzle perfectly. Now, you might be wondering, why Miller? Well, he's a young player with a lot of potential, drafted 71st overall in 2023, which puts him in the 3rd round. The Saints haven't fully unleashed him yet, and his NFL stats are still modest, less than 50 carries in his brief career so far. But his college production was impressive, especially at TCU, where he ran for 399 yards with an average of 6.2 yards per carry and scored 17 touchdowns. That kind of production shows he has the talent. The Saints, on the other hand, might see this as an opportunity to get something in return, perhaps a 6th-round pick, which is a pretty reasonable offer given Miller's limited NFL experience. They might even consider a 7th-rounder, but a 6th seems more likely, especially if they're looking to rebuild and get younger at the position. For the Bears, this isn't about making a splashy, headline-grabbing trade. It's more about a smart, strategic move, an affordable dart throw in a market where options are scarce. Last year, Swift carried the ball 252 times with a 3.8 yards per carry average, which was respectable but not enough to make us feel confident that the position is truly stabilized. Meanwhile, the team hoped for better from him this year, but after just one game, his average dipped to 3.1 yards per carry on 17 attempts. That's not exactly the breakout we were expecting. The team's other options are limited. Roscoe Johnson is still dealing with an injury and missed the opener, and Kyle Monangai didn't get a single carry. So bringing in Kendre could be a quick fix, a way to inject some fresh energy into the backfield and give Caleb Williams a more reliable running option. And let's be honest, this isn't just about adding another body. It's about creating a committee, a shared workload that could help extend the life of Swift's explosiveness or even challenge him for the starting role if Miller impresses early on. This move, small as it might seem, could be exactly what the Bears need to stabilize the offense. Because at the end of the day, no matter how talented Caleb Williams is, he's going to need a competent running game to really flourish. A strong run game opens up the pass, keeps defenses honest, and helps control the clock. Right now, the Bears are still trying to find that rhythm, and this trade possibility might just be the spark they need. Of course, it's not just about fixing a problem, it's about making sure the team is positioned for the future. The trade market for running backs has dried up significantly, and options like Kenneth Walker are costly and hard to acquire. So, in this scenario, a modest move for Kendre Miller makes a lot of sense. It's a low-risk, potentially high-reward kind of deal. Even if he doesn't turn into a star overnight, having a player like him in the rotation adds depth and flexibility. Plus, it sends a signal that the Bears are serious about competing now, not just planning for the long term, but actively trying to improve their roster in the present. Now, let's talk a little about Miller himself. Like I mentioned earlier, he's a promising young back who's shown flashes of greatness at the college level. At TCU, he was a workhorse, running with power and agility, capable of breaking tackles and making explosive plays. Even in his limited NFL touches so far, he's shown some of that potential. In Week 1, he carried the ball 5 times for 24 yards, averaging nearly 4.8 yards per rush. That's a small sample size, but it's enough to see that he's got some juice. If he joins the Bears, he could quickly become a key piece of their offensive puzzle, especially in a running back committee that might include Swift and others, giving the team options to keep defenses guessing. But as always, it's about the bigger picture. The real question is, can Miller help unlock the full potential of this Bears offense? Because if Caleb Williams doesn't find his rhythm, if the running game remains inconsistent, it's going to be a long season. The talent is there, no doubt. But football is a team sport, and the pieces have to fit together. Bringing in Miller might just be the piece that helps the Bears turn the page and start building momentum. Looking ahead, the Bears have a lot to prove in the upcoming weeks. The NFC North is no longer a two-horse race. Teams like the Lions and Vikings are formidable, and the Packers are always lurking with their own surprises. The Bears need to step up, and that means making smart moves, both on the field and in the front office. This potential trade for Kendre Miller isn't just a reaction to one game. It's a strategic move to reinforce a position that has been underwhelming so far. It's a way to show the league, and ourselves, that the Bears are serious about competing and making a run. Now, I want to emphasize that this is just a prediction, a scenario that makes sense given the circumstances. We don't have official confirmation yet, but with the market the way it is, it's a move that could make sense for both sides. The Saints could use a slightly earlier pick to help their rebuild, and the Bears could land an intriguing talent at a bargain price. It's the kind of move that might not grab headlines immediately but can have a ripple effect throughout the season. And of course, all eyes will be on Caleb Williams. He's the key to everything. If he can find consistency, improve his decision-making, and develop chemistry with his new weapons, the Bears could be a dark horse in the NFC. But if he struggles and the run game remains non-existent, it's going to be a tough road ahead. That's why adding a player like Kendre Miller could be a crucial piece in this puzzle, giving Williams a better chance to succeed and helping the Bears establish a more balanced offense. So as we watch these developments unfold, remember, this team is still in its early stages of figuring things out. The first game wasn't perfect, but it was a reminder that adjustments are needed, and quick ones at that. A trade for Miller might just be the move that kicks things into gear. The Bears have a lot of potential, and with some smart moves, they could surprise a lot of people in 2025. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. Remember, this is a team that has always been resilient, always fighting, and always looking for ways to get better. This upcoming season will be no different. Let's keep the faith, stay supportive, and continue to believe that the best is yet to come. Thanks for being with me today, and as always, bear down.